like this in the playoffs, is there ever like a certain feeling that you get where you know you're really dialed in?
Oh, it's tough to say. You know, every moment is a big moment, so you don't know how it's gonna turn up. So it's we're just trying to focus on one shot, one moment, and that's pretty much it.
What did you like most about how the team played in front of you, especially early in this game?
Yeah, I think they did a great job. They play a hard gap game, simple, strong, hard. So it's as a unit, as a five guys. So it was good win for us.
Did you feel like something sort of turned or flipped maybe midway through game 3? What's the difference?
I mean, I don't know. I trying to stay with for one moment and don't think much about the head or behind. So yeah, it's a playoff. We're happy with the win, but the next one is a big game. So we're gonna reset, regroup, and get ready for the next game.
What did you see on that breakaway from Nylander? Big save early.
Yeah, he had lots of speed, so he's an elite player, and yeah, I was fortunate to get my gap, and that's pretty much it.
Ed Cooley makes block a lot of shots in front of you usually, but to see him all get goals tonight, just how nice was that?
Yeah, it's definitely great. The ball stepped up too, so he didn't play last couple games. It's a big goal for him. So everybody contributed. It's a big team win.
Bob, what's the mood in the room like now, considering you guys are down 2-0 to start the series? You guys rattle off 3 straight and win the game like this. What do you guys say? How are you guys feeling knowing you're 1 away from moving on?
Yeah, it's definitely we're happy with where we're at, but we're also humble and focused. So it's again next shift, next moment, and we're ready.
Sergei, you went almost over 140 minutes without allowing a goal in this series. What was clicking for you over the last couple of games?
Yeah, it's a team sport. You know, everybody play hard in front of me, and yeah, there's some good moments. That's it.
What allowed you guys to just dominate this one from start to finish?
We were just focused on the first 10. You know, segments playing our game. I thought we had some jump early. Tried to defend hard and got the win.
A lot of defense turning to offense. What was working with the forecheck tonight?
It's all keeping it simple through the neutral zone. Getting pucks behind him. We were able to do that.
Was such a good fit with you guys tonight?
I just got so much speed. Battles out there. Anytime you can get those legs, especially in a tight checking series like this, it's going to be a positive. So he stepped in, was very comfortable, and made some big plays for us tonight.
Before you guys scored your first goal, Bob came up with a big stop on the William Nylander's breakaway. What have you seen in Bob really since the overtime in Game 3 where he looked like more locked right now?
I mean, they're going to get some looks. They're a dangerous team. We try and defend tight for the most part. Countless time and time again, he makes those big stops for us. And at this time of year, you need those timely stops. So another good performance out of him.
Sam, 3 great games for you guys now. How do you go and turn that into a nice 4th win and close out the series on Friday night?
We're just focused on one at a time. We had one job to do today. Now it's about recovering, getting ready for the next one, and get back home and get in front of our fans again.
How nice is it when so many defensemen are getting involved in the goal scoring work tonight?
Yeah, too. Just how a year when you can get contributions all over the lineup, it's going to take some pressure off the guys, and you kind of create your bounces. So we kept things simple, and we're able to get rewarded.
Meeks, obviously another great start for you guys. What has it been about the first 20 minutes these last 2 games for you guys?
For sure, huge. I think in the last 2 games we were a little bit sleeping on the first 10, and that's the one thing we've been focusing on. And I think our first period was pretty good.
You guys were trailing in this series up till now. How does it feel different at all now, leading the series with a chance to close it out in Game 6?
For sure, we wanted to win this one and steal this one, and we got it. And it's just one win, and as we know, the next one is the hardest one.
Seeing Ek and Cooley both get a goal, how badly did you want to join that party with those guys?
I was happy for those guys, and for sure, was nice to get one. Like it's been little quiet for me, but most important thing is the team is winning, and that's our goal.
Bob was a minute away from a second straight shutout. I mean, you guys know how good he is, but just what's it like seeing him when he gets on this level?
Oh, he's unbelievable. Gives us all 5 guys a nice confidence. Like if we gonna make a mistake, there's one guy who can back us off, and he made a great saves today and keep us on a lead today. So it's like a pleasure to have him.
That have kind of set the stage for good games for you guys. Just what has it been about the first period that's changed for you guys these last 2 games?
It's just a focus and a mentality coming into it to have a good start. Obviously, they took it to us in game 1 and 2, so that's been our focus since, is just get off to a good start.
Jesper, just obviously getting the big opportunity on the top line tonight, have a goal, have an assist, look like you fit in really well with them. Just what was working for you and how did it feel to produce the way you did tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it was a good opportunity for me, and obviously enjoyed every second of it, and obviously helped playing with one of the 2 best players in the world. So I just tried to move my feet and go to the net, and tonight it worked.
Aaron, we chatted after game 2 in that same dressing room, and we talked about a 2-0 series deficit, and you were very confident in saying they won 2 games on home ice. We're going home now. So what? And it wasn't said in a way that was arrogant or trying to make a headline, but you were clearly believing very much that 2-0 wasn't the end of the world. What have you seen that's different from that moment on?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It wasn't, in my opinion, arrogant at all. It was a belief in our group and our veteran group that has been in this situation before. So at the end of the day, the job's not done, and there's still a lot of work to do to go home and recover and have our best game at home in Game 6.
Aaron, obviously you guys got a lot of offense going tonight, but Sergei went over 147 minutes over the last couple games without allowing a goal. Just what can you say about his game specifically over the last couple, over this stretch?
Yeah, I mean, we trust in Bob like you wouldn't believe. It's unwavering as a team, and we're proud every night to play in front of that guy because he's going to give his best effort and put his best foot forward every night. So there's no worries when you got Bob behind you.
Aaron, tonight you and 2 other defensemen scored. You guys have been contributing offensively a lot in this series. Just how important is it just on a defensive team for you guys to also be able to chip in on the offensive side?
Yeah, extremely important. Depth scoring in the playoffs is extremely important, and to have D, get in on that, as well as guys like Yeppe and a lot of guys. It's been great. Love it.
Aaron, your goal, there was virtually no one between you and the net when you shot it. Mikola's goal, almost the same thing. Kulikov's goal, it was tipped, but there was a lot of room, it seemed, for guys shooting from point and in. Did you notice that as a team, or is that just something that happened in the game?
On my goal, it didn't feel like that, and I can't speak for the other guys. I haven't, gone back and looked at them, but from the very beginning, they've done an unbelievable job in shot lanes. So that's kind of the book on them. They're really, really good at blocking shots, and they're always in those lanes. So, yeah, that's. I mean, I felt like there was 10 guys in front of me when I was shooting, to be honest. So I don't know.
Jesper, obviously you talked about playing with Barkov and Rhino. Rhino had a great pass on your goal. We know the kind of chemistry they have and the bond they have. What was it like kind of being the third guy with them tonight and kind of seeing how they work up close?
Yeah, it was obviously a lot of fun. Played against them for a couple of years and seen how good they are, obviously. And now this year, seeing them that close, it's been unreal. And you learn so much and hear them talk on the bench and stuff. You pick up things. And yeah, obviously my goal there, Rhino, unbelievable pass. So it was a lot of fun for sure.
Thank you. Thanks, guys, very much.
Thanks, guys. Well, Paul, for Jesper, 2 points, 8 hits. Just what was it like kind of seeing him rise to this big moment, getting back in the lineup like that?
It's kind of a guy that scored big goals for us this year. I think he ended up with 12, but they weren't the last goal in a run. So those are the fun stories for our room when Greer gets one, Gadjevit has one with those guys because they work hard and they don't get on the magazines, right? They're not the front of it, but it's special on the bench when those guys score.
Paul, you guys were buzzing early. How important was getting that first goal in the net to sort of
Yeah,
open things up there?
It felt important because that game was really fast and well executed by both teams, up and down the ice early. There's lots of really good execution in that for both teams. So getting the first one was important. I thought it flatlined a little bit after that for us. And then probably where the game doesn't break is Sergei Bobrovsky, right? He's 2 or 3 breakaways a night. So I think he was the pivot point in the way that game went.
Paul, it was interesting this morning you referenced the series against the Rangers a year ago and a pivotal Game 5 and a big stage and a big building. And I don't know if you were trying to have a premonition for tonight, but again, what is it about your team at critical junctures of series the last 3 years that seems so comfortable on this stage?
Well, that game was completely different than this one. We got down in that game. It was reasonably well played. And then Gustav Forsling tied it to make it 1-1. It was late in the third, well, halfway through the third, and Anton Lundell. The message today wasn't, what it was that goal was a simple goal. We had a middle lane drive and Lundy shot the puck and there was nothing fancy to it, and that was the idea of as simple as we can possibly play here tonight. That silly cliche, more is less, was what we were trying to do. This one felt different. Like the first 6-7 minutes of that game, both teams were very well prepared and came out jumping. And then, you get a couple breaks, Sergei makes a couple of saves, so you get to keep the positive vibe. You get into the second period, you get a second goal's a break, right? Just off a stick, and that's kind of how it turned for us.
Paul, you mentioned Sergei a couple of times, and it seems like he's kind of ramping his game up as the series has gone on. But how much would you say is it Bob kind of getting into a groove, and how much is it of how well the defense is playing in front of him, cleaning up second chance opportunities and keeping stuff to the outside as best they can?
I think Sergei is always available to get into a groove. I think his prep doesn't change, right? The scorer, he has no idea about his stats. It's not how he... But I think recently, and it was true in the latter half of the Tampa series, the guys in front are playing a game he understands, that he has history with this year. He's had stretches this year where the shot total wasn't big for him. He never got warmed up in the game. He didn't get a bunch of outside angle shots that let him feel good about his game as a breakaway. Not a ton of them, so he's kind of trained himself with the style of game that we play, other than the breakaways, which is a silly thing to say. He has a fairly consistent expectation of what's going to happen next. I don't know if it makes saving the puck any easier for him. His anticipation then becomes very good.
Paul, there's a point in almost every playoff series where the two teams separate, and you realize one's going to win, obviously one's not going to win. Was tonight the point where the two teams separated, and now you're in a position to take this thing?
That's a beauty, Steve. I worked here. I've worked here, eh? This is very brief, but I've seen this. So I'll be consistent with what I am absolutely not a believer in momentum. So if we took that concept of what you said and applied it and felt it was true in our room, you would put yourself in a very, very difficult position if you lose the next game. So I would say we leave the game here. We're going to have a certain kind of day tomorrow that we've had a bunch of times. It won't be a happier day or a better day than other days on our travel days. It's going to be exactly our. And we will expect the first 6 minutes of the game tonight, or the first 10 of game 1, 2, and 3 to look exactly the same. The Toronto Maple Leafs were at least as good as us in those games. And that's where it is. I do not believe in momentum.
Paul, with the goals today, I think you have 17 different players that have scored for your team in this postseason. Your fourth line was the fifth line to start the postseason. Your seventh defenseman scored in this series. Obviously, you won the Cup last year, but do you think this is the deepest team you've ever had?
I would say it's... So I was going to say to you, I think it's the culturally deepest team that we've had. But we had some good dudes there 2 years ago. You think of the Stahl brothers. I know we gave up 9 goals in Game 5 of the Vegas series. Oh man, we had some guys in that line. We were so beat up. The culture is good on the players that are in and out of our lineup. They feel a part of it. The coach has nothing to do with that. Coaching has nothing to do with it. It's the room and the guys. So if you're 13, 14, and 15 up front, you don't feel it in that room. When you get your call and you go in, Evan Rodriguez was playing exceptionally well for us, and you feel a part of it when you come to the room because you have all the way straight through. So that's all the guys in the room. You said 2 more. I think that's 2. Right? Oh.
One more. Last one. Hey, Paul.
And then he gave it to Kent. Like,
That's the worst. Hey, Paul. What does winning last year and acquiring that champion mindset, how much does that have to do with what we've seen basically since the midpoint of Game 3 in this series?
so I would say maybe the most important part of that is we got beat 8-1 in Game 4. How does that happen? You're going to win the cup. You don't know that yet, but you're a pretty good team at that point. You're in your second final. You get beat 8-1. That tells you everything you need to know. This thing is so much closer than the buzzer sounds. You write a story. I'm not saying you, but even in coaches' heads, right? If the final result tells you how the game was played, it's just not true. All of it is always closer than you think. Every play, every shift. And that's how you got to come to the rink every night.